Kurt Greiner here from Netop. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about our latest product, Netop Response. It's a student response system that allows you to do testing, polling, surveys, and interactive presentations in your classroom. Best of all, your students can answer your questions from any web-enabled device, and that includes PCs, Macs, iPhones, Android devices, and even iPads. And in just a minute, we're going to show you how that works. So I've created a PowerPoint presentation on the 7 continents. And when I created the PowerPoint presentation, I inserted some questions into some of the different slides. As I go through the PowerPoint presentation, those slides will show up on the student devices, and when I get to a slide that has a question in it, they'll be asked to respond to that question on their device. So let's go ahead and go up to the Qwizdom Actionpoint toolbar in PowerPoint. That's where I'm going to start my presentation from. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Start Presentation button. And in a second, what it will do is it's going to pop up some options for me. I've already set these options before, so I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And then it starts up my presentation just like it normally would in PowerPoint. Now, once I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and have the students log into my presentation from their device. Okay, for students to log into my session, they're going to need 3 things from their browser. They're going to need to log into the QVR.Qwizdom.com URL. When they get there, they're going to enter the unique session key that connects them to my presentation, and then they're going to input their student ID that identifies them. So I've already done that on these 3 devices. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this also on the Mac here. So let me go to the website. I'm going to tell it I have a session key. Say OK. I'm going to enter in the session key, and this is unique for my presentation. This is CQGWMS. I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to type in the student's ID, and the presentation starts up on their device. All right, so now that the kids have logged into my session, I'm going to go ahead and start my presentation. And one of the things that you'll notice is as I go through my presentation from slide to slide, those slides also appear on the devices that the students are watching. So they can follow along on their device. Now eventually, I'm going to get to a slide that has a question on it. And this one does. It's how many countries are located in Africa? And the answer, the correct answer, is C. So let's look over on these devices and see how the students can answer those questions. Okay, so on the Mac here, I'm going to go ahead and answer the correct answer, which is C. I'm going to say send. And what you'll see, it may be a little hard to see it here, but there's a green check that appeared on the slide. And that green check informs the students that they have in fact answered the question correctly. And now on the iPad here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the question incorrectly. So I'm going to put in A or B, and I'm going to hit send. And what you'll see here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a red X that showed up. So it's giving feedback to the student that in fact they answered this question incorrectly. All right, so let's go back to the teacher's computer. And you'll notice on the slides of the teacher's computer there is a floating toolbar at the top. One of the things I can do with this floating toolbar is after all the students have answered a question on a particular slide, I can generate a report to show the results of those answers. So let me go ahead and click on that. And what you'll see is that I have one student that answered it with the answer A, one with B, and 2 with C. And the students can also see that on their devices as well. So this is a great way that you can show immediate results and generate some conversation about what the question asked. Let me go ahead and close this. And now I'm going to go ahead and terminate or end my session. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the results of all the answers that the students have posted, and it's going to put that into a file. And then from that file, I can generate additional reports. So we'll take a look at that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to show you today is how you can generate reports off of the results of your presentation. So I'm going to go up here in PowerPoint, and I'm going to click on the Report Generator button. And then in the window that appears, I'm going to go out and select the file that my results were saved to. And then I have a number of different reports that I can generate. And I'm going to go through just a couple of them today for you. So first of all, let's go and open up what we call a score report. Let's generate that. And what you see is you see the results of every student that participated in the presentation. So what you'll see is the number of questions they answered correctly compared to the number of questions available. You'll see the number of points that they were awarded compared to the number of points that were available. And you'll see their score for those points that they were generated. Let's go in and take a look at another report. Let's go look at a participant comparison report. This allows me to select a particular student and just look at the results of that particular student. So let's go ahead and generate that. And now what I can see here is I can see all the questions that the student answered. I can see what they answered, whether it was right or wrong. I can see what their score was, and I can see how that score compares to the rest of the class. So they scored a 56 here. The class average was 83. The highest score was 100, and the lowest score was 44. Now let's go take a look at one more report. That's going to be the answer report. Let's go ahead and generate that. This is going to allow me to generate an answer report for every student that participated in the class and be able to generate that on an individual basis. So let's go ahead and say generate. And what you'll see here is that for each student I have a page that shows all the questions. It shows the correct answer for that question. It shows the answer that the student gave. It shows how many points were awarded for that question. And it shows also how long it took to answer that particular question. And because it's broken out into individual pages in a PDF file, I can go ahead and print this out, and then I can distribute the results to the students. And that's just an example of a couple of reports that you can generate from Netop Response. All right, so now that you've seen how Netop Response works, let's talk about some of the benefits. First, Netop Response works on any web-enabled device. It supports bring your own device. Students can participate anywhere they have an internet connection. It works with PowerPoint. You have the option to present questions anonymously. It works with tests in any format, including paper, on-screen, or verbally. It automatically scores and saves test results. You can view the results in a variety of predefined report templates. You can also export those results to a CSV file. You can run Netop Response from your teacher iPad, and there's no proprietary hardware required, resulting in significant cost savings. If you'd like to try Netop Response for yourself, simply go up to our website at www.netop.com and you can download a free 30-day trial. Thanks for watching.